Washington has released newly declassified intelligence accusing Iran of deep involvement in attacks on commercial ships by Yemen's Houthi rebels. And now the U.S. is considering tougher measures, including possible force to counter these attacks. Iran has till date denied any involvement. The U.S. last week announced a naval coalition involving 20 countries aimed at helping safeguard vessels from attacks in the Red Sea. And some of these countries involved have said that the operations to protect commercial traffic will be a part of existing naval agreements. And this is Joe Biden announced in a show of force that the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower had entered the Gulf of Aden. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said that he has convinced the U.S. that diplomatic and verbal condemnations of the Houthi rebel attacks are the best way for Australia to assist a coalition of allied nations securing global shipping in the Red Sea. Now, failing again to confirm whether Australia has declined a U.S. Navy request to send warships, Albanese also indicated that he's yet to decide whether to send additional personnel to a 39-country joint maritime force in Bahrain that already includes 5 Australians. The White House said that Tehran's clerical state has provided drones and missiles to the Houthis as well as tactical intelligence. And U.S.'s National Security Council spokesperson said, and I quote here, "We know that Iran was deeply involved in planning the operations against commercial vessels in the Red Sea," unquote. Now, earlier this week, National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby too reiterated the same idea.
So I can confirm that the department is certainly providing the means, the tools, the capabilities, the weapons through which the Houthis are conducting these attacks. The Houthis may be pulling the trigger, but as I've said, Iran's giving them the guns.
According to the Pentagon, the Houthis, who control vast parts of the Arabian Peninsula's poorest country, including the capital, have launched more than 100 drone and missile attacks targeting 10 merchant vessels. Now, the White House says that the Houthis are also reliant on Iranian-provided monitoring systems at the sea. Biden administration officials are increasingly concerned that the Houthis are trying to undermine global maritime trade, both to undercut trade to Israel and to raise the cost to U.S. and its allies for supporting Israel. Yemeni insurgents persist with ship strikes they say are in solidarity with Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. Now, the Houthis, on the other hand, have warned that they would strike U.S. warships if the Iranian-backed militia was targeted by Washington. And this comes as thousands of protesters rallied in Yemen's capital in solidarity with Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. The protest was organized by the Iran-backed Houthis. And for more on this and on the latest, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal sends us this report. Listen in.
There has been a spate in number of attacks on commercial vessels in the Red Sea area, according to the data released by the Information Fusion Center of the Indian Ocean region. This Indian Navy institution is India's eye on the Indian Ocean and also keeps an eye on the movement of vessels. Essentially, there has been attacks by the Houthis from Yemen, and last 1 week saw a number of missile attacks. This in response to the Israeli counteroffensive in Gaza that has led to a substantial loss of life. Now, India has said that it backs the movement of commercial vessels and it monitors the developments as well in that part of the world. But we have seen increasingly shipping companies have been saying that they are now rerouting the routes of these vessels. This contributes to the increase in the prices of the movement of the vessel, and that translates into increase in prices of crude oil and also food prices. That contributes to global inflation. But essentially, this grim data shows that situation remains bleak, and that is going to impact the international community, especially in terms of economics. Siddhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.